Hey, buddy.
That makes you
our
my
new best friend. That was not scripted.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Carganilla Online Variety Entertainment Podcast. Here's your host, Paul Carganilla.
Hello, everyone, and welcome.
We're starting?
Yeah.
I need a warning.
Welcome to Cove. This is the online variety show in which we explore so many different entertainment offerings like music, poetry, storytelling, special guest interviews, and every once in a while we get to do a travel blog. And Jamie and I, we want to take you on our recent trip to New York. It's been a couple of months, but we've got plenty of pictures and videos to share with you. We're so excited. And
yes, it was a good trip.
yeah, welcome back to the Cove, Jamie.
Thank you. It's been a minute.
It has. Now tell us, how often and why do we go to New York?
Why and which? I got to keep up with these H's. Okay, I'll do my best. Well, I used to live in New York. I went to NYU and came back to California, and sometimes I miss it. I would never want to live there again because it's just crazy and a constant hustle, but it's so much fun to visit. So we try to go every year. We hit all of our old favorite places. There's a lot of history there with Paul and I, our first kiss. All these places that have their imprint on our memory. And it's just fun to kind of go back there and you just feel the energy and so many great places to eat, and it's a good time.
We were friends for a couple of years before she moved out there. She transferred. We met in junior college. Then she transferred to New York, but we didn't start dating until she was actually living in New York, and I was living in Long Beach at the time. So the first year and a half of our relationship was long distance. Every holiday season, we like to try and get out there.
Yeah, Christmas is the best time. I mean, not because that makes me sound touristy, but it really is. It's super magical, and there's twinkly lights everywhere, inside, outside. Saks Fifth Avenue is like a whole vibe, and there's carolers and clopping of Christmas horses in Central Park, and sometimes snow, and you get your peacoat and your little scarf.
Christmas horses.
The clopping.
All right. Well, we're going to take you through our recent trip, as I just mentioned, and but we also had an additional mission this time around. You see,
we did. One
of my favorite movies is called The Adjustment Bureau, and one of the scenes was filmed in a dive bar in Brooklyn,
Red Hook, Brooklyn,
called the Ice House. And we visited on our trip last year. I actually have some props from the movie that I won in an auction years ago. And we took those props back to the bar on our trip last year and took some pictures sitting where Matt Damon was sitting, using the props that he used in the film.
That's one of my favorites, too. We were totally nerding out.
When The Adjustment Bureau came out in 2011, it immediately became one of my favorite movies of all time. I loved so many of the main elements. I love New York City. I love fedoras. I love Matt Damon, Emily Blunt, and that first scene between the two of them.
Are you a registered New York voter?
Do I sound like I am?
Soon after it was released, I found an online auction house called premierprops.com that was auctioning off props, set pieces, costume pieces from the movie, and I was able to get my hands on a couple of really cool things. I don't know if you remember the scene in the bar where David was trying to remember Elise's phone number, and Harry came in, they had a conversation, he ended up giving him a ferry ticket.
Your entire world is turned upside down and you're thinking about a woman.
I actually won the auction for the hero pen that David uses in the scene to try to remember her number. He's sitting there twiddling it. And one of the tickets, the hero tickets that Harry hands David at the end, it says, "Meet me on the boat."
Be on the 4 p.m. boat.
Well, thanks to the miracle of the Google machine, I was able to find out what bar they filmed it at. And I'm going to head out there this weekend. I'm going to take my pen and my ferry ticket, and I'm going to sit where David tried to remember Elise's phone number. I'm going to write on a napkin and I'm going to make Jamie hand me the ticket, and we'll see if we can recreate this scene this weekend. We are sitting in the bar where they filmed this scene of the Adjustment Bureau, and I'm sitting in the spot. See the little toucan sign? It's that one right there. And in the movie, David Norris, played by Matt Damon, is sitting here with this actual pen. This is the pen from the movie.
Whenever it's on, I have to watch.
And he gets a ticket, and this is the ticket from the movie. And I have brought the pen and the ticket back to where they filmed the movie. And we're sitting in the same spot.
We're in Brooklyn. It's a vibe in here.
How cool is that? And after we left the bar last year, we thought, we gotta come back and try and get that toucan.
I remember we took the ferry. When we got back on the ferry, it was the last ferry back to Manhattan, so we couldn't dilly-dally. No time to waste. And we were on the ferry, and we were just kind of sitting there quietly, and Paul goes, gonna need that toucan, though. I was like, I think we do need the toucan. Next time, we're going back, and we're gonna try to get the toucan. So that was the secret mission.
And we planned for our last day of this trip. We're going to stay in a Red Hook hotel.
I'm nervous just thinking, just reliving it. My hands are sweating.
We said we're going to check out of our New York hotel, go check into a Red Hook hotel, and
stayed the night.
Make it our mission to take that toucan
to get the
home.
toucan.
So that's a little foreshadowing of our last day, which was so much fun. But let's jump back to the very beginning. I was excited. Well, we take a red eye usually when we go. Mm-hmm. And why is that?
Well, we usually like to extend our time there as much as possible. And so we go after work. Like we'll work on a Thursday and then we book it to the airport. Oh my gosh, we have to talk about what happened on the way to the airport.
Yeah, it's on the list.
And then, we land, it's like 6 or 7 a.m. and we have the whole day. We power through, we get a couple hot coffees throughout the day and we're fine. I never feel tired. And then, it gives us a whole extra day. So
the important part is to try and get 4 or 5 hours of sleep on the flight. We left with plenty of time because Jamie has become a credit card, as I've mentioned several times in the Cove.
Travel hacker with credit card points. And she's the member of the Delta Sky Lounge, which is a fun place. Tell us about the Delta Sky Lounge. The Delta Sky Lounge. It's so great. I love it. So you go in and there's free food. They usually have like a taco bar and shrimp cocktails. The first time I went, there were people in jackets pushing linen-covered carts around with like champagne flutes and all sorts of little amuse-bouche. I was like, oh, there was a beautiful bar. You should see the bathrooms. That's a highlight. The hand soap it smells so delicious. There's a little area outside where you can watch the planes taking off and landing while you have your little cocktail and your hors d'oeuvres, and it's just so much better than waiting at the gate. It's a whole thing. So I wanted to bring Paul. So we left with plenty of time. We were going to go to the flyaway. I booked the tickets on the way in the car. I was 5 steps ahead.
So we're headed to the airport for our annual holiday season Manhattan trip, my wife and I. We're about 30 minutes away from home when she goes,
my coat!
We have to go back. I'm like, we're gonna go back home. We're gonna burn an hour before our flight.
We're going to New York City. I don't have a coat. I have no coat.
I said, you can wear my jacket. She said,
no, I'm not gonna wear it. No, we have to go back. No, I needed my coat. It's my J. Crew Italian stadium cloth coat with the fur collar. I have to have that coat. No, I said, we turn this car around. We are going back. We had to go all the way back home to get my coat.
It added an hour to our pre-flight trip.
Oh, minimum. And then we didn't even have time to go to the flyaway, so the tickets that I bought just went to waste. And Paul was like, we're not going to make it. We're going to miss our flight.
I've been excited to enjoy the Delta Sky Lounge at the airport that she's been rubbing in my face for a few months.
We're going to the Sky Lounge now.
No, there's no time for it now.
There's so much time. It is 8:05. Our flight's at 11.
She forgot her coat. And now we'll be lucky if we make our flight.
Okay, that's a little. WallyPark came through. I can't say enough good things about WallyPark. Like, I've used them 2 or 3 times now, and every time is great, but you have to get the valet. Drive up, drop the keys, get on the shuttle, get to the Sky Lounge. Land, text the shuttle guy, he comes and gets you. You go in, and your car's there. It's beautiful.
It was the first time I had WallyParked, and it was a great experience.
Guys, we made it to the airport. Paul got randomly selected for the TSA screening. And my bag got randomly selected for the bag screening. I don't know, but you know what's about to happen?
This is actually it?
This is it. I want you to experience it. Let's go. We made it to the Sky Lounge. What do you think?
It's awesome. I had martinis and food. And
There's flames over there.
probably can't even hear us. But
Wow.
much better than just waiting in the regular terminal.
And now, if you're wondering how, pray tell, do I get access to the Sky Lounge? Well, you see, you have to either be flying Delta One, which, no, I use points for economy unless it's going to be an international flight. Then maybe I'll spring for business class. But you can get an American Express card. It's got to be the Platinum Express card. Not just any Express card, Platinum. And you will get access to the Sky Lounge. But you don't get to bring a guest anymore. So now you need your own Amex.
Yeah, so we'll have to get on that. But speaking of getting on, we got on the plane, and the fella in front of us was...
Pungent. We just landed. We're here. Happy to announce we're on time in New York. Gotta get off. I gotta get off this plane right now.
It brought me back to when we went to Paris once and getting on a train in Paris and the smell of bodies.
He should have been forced to disembark, honestly. It was so bad.
It gave me a headache.
I just zipped up my whole coat.
I
put
literally,
my hood down.
The little air conditioner fan thing, I pointed it right at like the front of my nose so it would
bad.
be blowing as much of the odor away from my nose as possible. And we're very kind people and we don't judge people, but
We're just stating fact.
It was inconvenient. It was very inconsiderate. That's the word I was looking for fellow
rough.
passengers.
But we made it through. We took a little nap. We landed. We got off the plane as soon as possible. It was like 6 or 7 in the morning. It was a beautiful day, but it was cold. It was like in the 30s, which for us is very cold.
If you've never been to New York, and a huge part of this video is us giving tips for people traveling to New York.
Yes.
If you fly into JFK, there's a thing called the AirTrain, which is for like $6. It takes you from the airport to the subway station.
Yes.
And then you get on a train at the subway station right into New York City. It takes about an hour and a half to get from the airport to the heart of Manhattan. But it's such an amazing thing if you've never been to New York, to step out of a subway station and just look around. And
that's one of my favorite parts, because you're underground pretty much. You land, you're in the airport, you get on the subway, and then you don't see the sky really until you're out in the middle of Manhattan. And you go up the stairs and it's like, there she is. The energy. That's one of my favorite things about going to New York.
Absolutely. That experience of, it's like the reveal. Like you come up out of the station, up the stairs as she mentioned, and then you just take in the 360 around you.
That was heavy.
We did it. We're back in New York.
Columbus Circle. Here we are. Yay. Okay, everybody, we're here. Columbus Circle. Our hotel's down the way. It is freezing.
36.
So we got some coffee. And you know what? You know where we are? I don't know if you can see the sign, but that says Marea, New York.
And that, my friends, is the one and only restaurant where I ordered a very expensive bottle of wine, and I thought the label was wrong, and the sommelier was like, "What do you think you ordered?" I will never be over it. I will never let it go, ever. This is the place. We'll come back later.
If you've heard the sommelier, what do you think you ordered story?
We haven't heard it.
I've never told that. Okay, so a couple years ago, there was a restaurant that I wanted to try. It's called Marea, Michelin star rated, supposed to be very good. So we get a reservation, we go, we order some appetizers. I wanted to order a nice bottle of wine, so I asked the sommelier for the wine list, which is like huge. And so I needed some help. So I order a bottle of wine he recommends, and I pretty much commit the name to memory. And he brings the bottle over and he presents it. And the name of the wine did not match what was on the menu in my memory. I thought, is that what we ordered? So I kind of asked him, is that the right wine? And he was like, ma'am? I was like, is that what we ordered?
I think your words were, I don't think this is what we ordered.
Oh, yeah. And he said, what do you think you ordered?
What do you think you ordered?
Yes.
And she was so offended.
Rude. It was rude. What do you think you ordered? And I was like, okay, that was rude. But also, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Just pour it. I'm sure it's really good. There's a different way he could have said that, I think.
Absolutely.
But I don't know what else he would have said. I don't know. Anyway, that became the story. So every time we pass by Marea, we go, what do you think you ordered?
But you wanted to go back on this trip.
I had to go back because their octopus fusilli is like in my top 3 dishes of all time. It's delicious.
We will talk about that.
Yes.
So we actually stayed at a new hotel that we'd never stayed before. It's the Thompson.
Yes, because we had Hyatt points. We stayed for free with points.
We have stayed in the Hollywood location, is it?
Yeah, Hollywood Thompson, which is great. We love it.
And so we love the vibe, love the hotel. So we said, let's try the New York one.
Thompson, Manhattan.
So excited. We love the Thompson Hollywood. Did you just say that?
Yeah.
Oh.
We left our bags there because it was still like 8 o'clock in the morning and decided to go explore. I took my guitar with us this time because my guitar has an Instagram, Carganilla Guitar, and I like to take pictures of it in front of different landmarks. So far it's been to 7 states and I want to keep it going, but we went out to take some pictures, but at first we were starving.
Yep, we grabbed a bagel. That's always a must. The bagels are just different in New York. Really good. Then we walked around. We were roaming around Fifth Avenue. We dropped into a couple cathedrals. The cathedrals in New York are beautiful and historic. They're out of control beautiful. But I'd never been inside one. So we popped into... That was your first time inside any cathedral in New York? Yeah. Yeah, we dropped into St. Thomas.
St. Thomas Church. Gorgeous.
It was so amazing. The stained glass, the organ. It's so peaceful in there. We were like, there was only 1 or 2 other people in there. And it was just unbelievable.
I took my picture of the guitar in front of the St. Patrick's Cathedral and we went over to Rockefeller Square.
That always, I have to prepare myself because there's always so many people there.
That's where the iconic skating rink is with the Christmas tree, the large, huge Christmas tree every year. And yeah, it is usually one of the most packed places.
I love it, but I'm always like, okay, yep, it's still there. Let's go.
We walked around there and then you wanted to drop into Saks Fifth Avenue.
Yes. Oh, at Christmas time. Oh man, it's so fun.
Okay, we're walking through Saks Fifth Avenue. Paul he's so excited. I have to calm him down. Are you having the time of your life? Bring it down. So much fun.
Yeah, I just like to walk around and look at things I can't afford and things that are just priced ridiculously. And
we saw these awesome shoe sock things.
Oh, the Louis Vuittons?
There were shoes that looked like...
They were boots that looked like a human leg.
So awkward.
Must buy.
How much?
Classic piece.
I'm gonna have to look up how much those cost.
Classic, timeless. Oh, they're like thousands of dollars. Thousands.
Ridiculous.
And then what did we do?
We said, let's go over to Times Square.
It was hot in there. It was like 95 degrees. Remember how hot the heater was blasting?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we went to Times Square during the day, which we never do.
We always go at night.
We try to avoid Times Square at all costs, really.
But it's where we had our first kiss, so we always have to.
But we have to.
At least walk through.
We get in, we get out. You got to hit it and wait. Visit and then go. I mean, you have to.
On our way over there, we dropped into Jimmy's Corner, which is a dive bar, but it's been there since 1971. Famed boxing cutman and trainer Jimmy Glenn opened it, and it hasn't changed from what I heard since he opened it in 1971. The walls are lined with like boxers, and they filmed a scene from Raging Bull in there.
Legendary. Like true New Yorkers know it. Jimmy's Corner is the best. Used to go there in college with Bonnie and Crystal, get their like $3 gin and tonics, which have not changed at all. I mean, they're a little bit more expensive now. I think they're $5, which in New York is like free.
The one and only best gin and tonic in all of Manhattan, and it's $4. $4 in Times Square.
So we went to Jimmy's, and then we went and got our picture in our spot of our first kiss, of course.
We rarely ever, if ever, come to Times Square during the day.
I cannot remember the last time I was here during the day.
But we are actually standing on the spot of our first kiss. This is where we kissed for the very first time. November 19th, 2004. 2004, yeah.
Yes. I love you.
Luckiest man in the world right here.
What did we do after that? What happened after
We got
that?
some coffees. We found some blue
More
cups.
coffees.
Tell us about the blue cups.
The blue cup. Yeah, the little Greek blue cup. So those are iconic New York. So in New York, on pretty much every street corner, there's a little coffee cart. They sell coffees, teas, croissants, bagels, breakfast sandwiches, things like that. And their coffee comes in a signature blue Greek design cup. And for a long time, they were gone. We went, and I realized nobody has the cups. I went specifically to get my coffee in the blue cup, like you see on Law and Order. It's the blue cup, the cup that I went to college holding. And they said, no, they're gone. They're discontinued, no more. And it was tragic. But on this trip, we saw somebody walk by with the blue cup. And I was like, oh, the cups are back. The cups are back. So we had to get one.
And we did.
Yep. I think they might be a little bit different, but I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too worried
So
about it.
that was great. Very happy to see those back. Then we hit up
The Redeye Grill. Yeah. Tell us about the Redeye Grill.
The Redeye Grill is a restaurant that's directly across from Carnegie Hall on 7th Avenue, and I worked there for about a year right after I graduated from college. Worked there with my bestie Emily Krieger Cabana, and we had amazing memories there. So I like to go, my old stopping grounds. Although I have to say this time, I don't know, I might be okay. I don't think I have to go every year. We had the worst service. Our bartender, she was going through it.
She was.
She was really going through it. What was her name? Do you remember? Katie?
Katie.
It was Katie.
Yeah, Katie was not having a good day.
Katie was struggling. She was struggling. But you know what? We all have our stories. We sat down and she goes, okay, what do you want to drink? We order. She said, are you going to be eating too? And we thought, yeah, we'll get a bite. And we never saw her again. And then we never got our food. But that's okay because I think we ate after that.
I took my photo in the bathroom. I have this annual thing I like to do, taking pictures of myself in the mirror of different New York bathrooms. Mm-hmm. Nice and cozy bathroom there at the Redeye Grill. We went back to the hotel and checked in, and we were like, we got to eat something because it was in the afternoon now and we're hungry. And we heard that this burger joint connected to our hotel was the best in New York. So we went. It's actually called Burger Joint.
Yeah, Burger Joint.
And we went and we had burgers and they were fine.
I mean, I think if you're not from California or a state that has In-N-Out, you'd say, wow, these are really good. But they don't compare to In-N-Out. And it was like $25 a burger.
Yeah. If you ever go to the burger joint in New York City, check the walls for a Cove podcast sticker.
Mm-hmm.
Also look in the restroom of Jimmy's bar if you go to the men's restroom on the door.
We'll have to check. We're going back in November.
You'll find the Carganilla compass.
We will check.
On the door in there. And I dropped in. We tell these stories on our Instagrams. And at that point, I had explained that we had a mission coming up, our Toucan mission, and explained what it is.
Mentally
and
preparing.
Why.
Okay, I want to ask everybody's help, and I only have 60 seconds to do it. So, first of all, thank you for following our story here in New York. Now I invite you to follow a new story, Operation Acquire the Toucan. So, as many of you know, one of my favorite movies is The Adjustment Bureau. One of the scenes takes place in a bar called the Ice House in Brooklyn. We went there last year. There was still, this is a screenshot from the movie. There's this painting of a toucan on the wall. It's still there. Jamie and I, we want to get it. So we've dedicated all of Saturday night. We're staying in a hotel right around the corner from the bar. We're going to get some drinks. We're going to make friends with the bartender. We want to get the toucan.
Last time the bartender was not nice, so it's a gamble. We're taking a gamble.
We want your ideas on how we can go about what is the best way.
What do we say? Do we just say we want the toucan?
And I wanted to ask anybody who was watching, like, what strategy we should try and take to get the toucans. A lot of people were like, just steal it, wait till nobody's looking and take it. And we were like, we're not doing that. We're going to get it rightfully.
Takes all the fun out of it. Why would you want to steal?
And then you wouldn't feel good about it. Like, it would be up on the wall and
like, oh, I'm a criminal.
Stole that. No, we weren't going to steal it.
But
our friend Matt LaRue had a really good idea. He was a bartender for a lot of years. He said, make friends with the bartender, tip him big as soon as you get there, make a good relationship and butter him up. His advice was very valuable. And we started to kind of formulate a game plan. Yeah. But again, let's pull the cart back behind the horse and talk about what we did that evening. We went out to Nelson, Aspen, had a book signing at a place called Don't Tell Mama. Cove listeners will remember Nelson from earlier this season when his book came out, Dancing Between the Raindrops, and we had been in touch, and he had like a little tour going of like happy hours at his favorite pubs where he would just go and take books and sign them. And we went to this place called Don't Tell, is it Mama or
Don't Tell Mamas? It's a piano bar. It's legendary. It's been there forever. I used to go in college. It was there way, way before my time. Back in the 70s or 80s, I think. And I have a friend that works there. The bartenders and waiters all sing. They get on the mic. Somebody plays the piano. They sing live. It's so much fun. So I got to meet Nelson for the first time. Got some books. We had a great time on our way to dinner.
Very fun. Dinner was at a place called Locanda Verde. How did you hear about that?
I had heard so many things about Locanda from pretty much all of my friends that live or lived in New York, and friends that I definitely trust with their culinary expertise. So I was dying to try it. It's definitely fun in there. It's extremely loud. I remember it being very loud.
Yeah, we had to like shout at each other to hear each other.
And so crowded.
Speaking of shouting, the table next to us got a little...
man.
It was like all these older businessmen in suits.
They were misbehaving, these boys.
Inappropriate conversation.
Way inappropriate. Yelling, screaming. And there was one guy, like, they looked like hedge fund kind of guys. One guy was like shouting about things that I can't say. And I was just like, this guy. And they were all drunk and getting sloppy and embarrassing. Could not wait for them to leave. And then after they finally left, a very nice, like, bachelorette group came, but they were classy and quiet and just enjoyed their time. Food was great. It was good.
Do you remember what you ordered?
I think I got... No.
We headed back to our hotel, and Jamie's like, you're really good at finding other like dive bars. Like, find one near our hotel. And I said, okay, I'll try. So we tried this one spot. I forget what it was called.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
It was like the Olympic or something like that. And we went in, and it was really crowded, lots of college kids. And so we said, no, let's find somewhere else. So as we're leaving, the guy at the door who was checking IDs, we were just like, it's too crowded.
I said, I'm too old for this bar.
And what did he say to you?
He said, there's a Cuban place right down the street. Totally serious, deadpan, like he was telling me a secret, encrypted.
And I think you said, what?
I said, huh? And he said, there's a Cuban place down the street. And I was like, okay, well, we already ate. And he was like, so I was like, should we go find the Cuban place? What is it?
Well, on our way back to the hotel, like a block down, there was a corner with a Cuban place, but it was all dark.
It looked murdery. It was dark and closed.
The windows were all covered up with like black coverings.
Like that metal sheeting.
And there was a call box at the door. I was like, should I press the button?
He pressed it.
And then, what was the response?
We thought it was like a speakeasy. We heard like some rattling, and then we looked and we were like, we don't even think this is the right building. This is not even the Cuban restaurant. We ran away. We ran away and we went to the Russian tea room.
Yeah, the Russian tea room's a couple doors down from our hotel. I'd never been inside.
If you want a $50 martini, that's the place to go.
We went in. It has like gold-plated ceilings.
Yeah.
We met the manager. We sat down. The bartender also was not very friendly.
Oh, yeah. He was having a bad day. He was like, we're closing. I was like, now? Now?
And he said, no, in like an hour.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And so we said, all right, can we get a couple Grey Goose martinis? And so he made them for us. We should have, I don't know if like asking how much drinks are is a thing, but the bill came and it was like $70.
No, it was pretty close to 100, I think. Wasn't it? After tip and everything?
Well, yeah, but they were $30 martinis. And we looked at each other and we went, when did martinis become $30?
We could not believe it. I think it might have even been 40. It was something completely ridiculous. So ridiculous that the manager came over and apologized. He said, I know it's so expensive. I'm sorry. He was the nicest, like, Korean guy, I think. He lived up, we would have been neighbors. He lived up in Washington Heights, so we became friends. He was very, very, very nice. Hey everybody, we're here at the Russian tea room. This is Abby. He's the best.
These are my best people. Okay, best people. Where are you guys?
Yes, we're from LA, Abby.
People.
He's great. Yes.
Our first time here. Yeah, we love it.
This is Russian tea room.
It's the best. You guys got to try it. Thank
Been
you.
here for 97 years. The ceiling is all 24 karat gold ceiling. Pictures anywhere from Picasso painting to Cunard.
What? Let's take a look.
Love it.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. We had one glass of wine. It's gorgeous.
I went and found the restroom there. It was very murdery. There was it was downstairs, underground. There was a long hallway with like really happy Russian music playing.
That's enough for me.
Just like curtains doing this.
Happy Russian music. And it was like fluorescent, you said, right? In the hallway?
Yeah. We survived the expensive martinis and the murder hallway and went back to our hotel and called it a night. I think we were pretty burnt.
Yeah.
Day 2, we decided would be our Adjustment Bureau movie cosplay day.
I mean, I don't like to call it a cosplay.
Okay.
I just happened to get an exact matching outfit from one of my favorite movie characters and wear it. But
tell us about that.
Well, it's from The Adjustment Bureau, the movie that we referenced earlier, one of our favorites, Matt Damon, Emily Blunt. And there's an outfit that Emily Blunt wears in that movie that I have always been obsessed with. It's a cute little mini skirt with a overcoat. It's a Burberry overcoat with black tights and boots and a very cute red leather satchel messenger bag. And I spent like a month tracking down all these pieces. My mom made me the dress because I couldn't find one like it. And I put together the outfit. It's still one of my favorite outfits. I'm going to wear it again, actually.
And for my birthday last year, Jamie actually scoured the internet and surprised me, found the actual suit that Matt Damon wore in the film, in one of the biggest scenes in the film too, when he arrives at work and finds the adjustment bureau
the one
yeah,
that Matt Damon wore.
Not replicating it like Jamie was replicating Emily Blunt's costume, but the actual suit that Matt Damon wore in the movie.
Bought it from an online auction house in London.
We've talked about Adjustment Bureau already, but today's an Adjustment Bureau day. It is. It's a beautiful blue-grayish day here in New York City, and check this out. So some of you might know that for my birthday, Jamie actually got me screen-worn Matt Damon Adjustment Bureau costume pieces.
So that means like this is actually his, worn in the movie. In
the movie. This jacket and tie, I left the shirt and pants at home. But I'm going to wear this around. We're going to visit some filming locations here in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And we went out basically doing our Adjustment Bureau costume day on the town.
We went all over. We hit up the library.
We tried to go. There's a big scene in the New York Public Library, and we tried to go. But the room that they filmed that in, it's a big reading room. I think it's like a big hall with tables and lamps.
It's the one you see in so many movies.
Yeah, that was
closed.
You could only go in there if you were on a tour, and we weren't about to do a tour.
No group tours.
We're at the New York Library.
Never been here before. It's pretty amazing.
We wanted to go see the main reading room, but evidently you can't just go see it. You have to do a guided tour, and I don't do guided tours. I can't do it. I just can't. I can't be guided.
We enjoyed what we could see at the library and moved on. We went down to the aforementioned favorite park of ours in New York called Madison Square Park.
I think it's one of the best spots in New York. It's so magical. It's tucked away. It's in a great location. It's just so nice to sit on a bench there. People walking their dogs, and I love it. One of my favorites.
So beautiful today. We're at Madison Square Park.
The weather's perfect.
It's perfect. We are waiting for this couple to get off this bench so we can take a picture. But in the meantime, it's beautiful. Look at this. Gorgeous.
And very pivotal scene from the Adjustment Bureau was filmed there, where the character of Harry, he's supposed to be following David, Matt Damon's character, and he falls asleep on a bench, and then he misses his assignment. And so we found the bench and took some pictures, found Matt Damon's apartment building across the street and took some pictures in front of that, and just enjoyed the beautiful winter day in Madison Square Park. Love it there. From there, we continued on to lunch at our favorite pub in Shebeen.
It's a can't miss. Molly's Pub and Restaurant Shebeen. According to the website, it stands at 287 3rd Avenue, which was established as a bar in 1895. The bar was constructed from Honduran mahogany, which together with the original wood-burning fireplace is still there today. It's super cozy. Back in 1964, the business was purchased by the Purefield family from Dublin and Galway. Wow. Are you making fun of me? No, I was not ready for a whole historical lecture. Right. Keep going. I'll stop. In 1964. Go. It's fine. It's still there. It's beautiful. It's our favorite place. We've been going there since we started dating. We're glad it's still there because so many places we started going to when we were dating are gone. Yeah. But knock on wood, I hope Molly's stays there forever. If you ever go to New York, you have to go. You have to have a Reuben sandwich. The best. Ugh.
It is iconic.
It just falls apart. It melts in your mouth. It's so good. Best pint of Guinness you'll find in the city. And it's so cozy in there. They have got Christmas lights up. There's no more sawdust on the floor, but it's still cozy.
Gotta go. Put it on your list.
Yeah.
After Molly's, we tried to hit another place we found, I think for the first time last year, called Linen Hall. And we went and it was closed for a private event.
Oh, yes.
So we actually tried a pub next door called Penny Farthing.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was fine.
Yeah.
I had a beverage there and moved on. We were trying to get to dinner at Emilio's Ballato that night, and we had some things we wanted to do before, so
Emilio's.
We headed across town. I wanted to go to Pier 54, which I had never been to before. As a Titaniac is embarrassing to admit.
I'm so excited. This is my first time here. I don't know how, but we're at Pier 54. This is where Titanic was supposed to dock on its maiden voyage. The Cunard White Star, basically, building was here. And all that's left is the frame of the entrance. But it still stands today, and you can still kind of make out the letters Cunard White Star. The before and after pictures are like mind-blowing. And this amazing piece of history still standing in New York City.
Super cool to see. Right next door is a man-made island called Little Island at Pier 55. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was great. I had never been there, even after living in New York for years, and it was so beautiful. They had a whole kind of little park constructed and a lookout area. We watched the sunset. It was great.
There's a big outside amphitheater.
Yeah.
Did you know there's an H in amphitheater?
Yes.
For my whole life, I thought it was amphitheater till recently I found out it's amphitheater.
I think it's potato, but there is an H.
Amphitheater.
Amphitheater.
Well, it's a beautiful place, and lots of people go. It was pretty crowded, but we were there, as she mentioned, at sunset. You can look out and see New Jersey. The sunset's behind New Jersey, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
So then we tried to get over to Emilio's Ballato.
You gotta get there at 5 o'clock. No later.
We were a lot further than we thought we were,
Yeah.
and so we ended up Ubering. And the line once we got there was
we were way too late.
We went last year and it was fantastic.
But they don't take reservations, so you just have to get there and wait in line. By the time we got there, it was hours wait. So we were right by Little Italy.
Emilio's Ballato it's like a tiny little place with 10 tables, and the owner sits at the first stop, opens the door and decides who he wants to let in.
He's giving mob boss. It's so great.
Couldn't get in this time, but as she mentioned, Little Italy was right there, so we said, let's find somewhere.
I thought it would be fun.
We
don't go Little Italy.
Yeah, we tried a place and it was adequate.
Let's do a story. Let's do a video.
We are here in Little Italy.
We sure are.
Found a spot for dinner. Our original dinner plans didn't work out, so we walked the streets of Little Italy, and we found a place called Osteria Barroca.
We sure did.
It was perfectly adequate.
Perfectly adequate.
In every sense.
It was
I mean,
I'm full.
The service wasn't the best. The food was fine.
I won't go back, but it was fine.
We had a great time.
Yes.
Little Italy here at the holiday season, so festive. I mean, it's always festive. Feliz Navidad.
Then we met up with our friend Tom Carrozza, who's an improv guy. We met during COVID, actually. We were introduced by my friend Denny Siegel, and he lives in New York, and every time we go, we try and visit with him because he's a fantastic guy, so funny. And
it's so much fun. He took us on a little tour of his old stomping grounds. We went to, was it Bond Street?
yeah, he had back in the day, in the 80s, he and his friends had an underground improv theater troupe at 2 Bond Street. So he went and showed us where his old theater was, and he showed us right next to it this place called Shinbone Alley.
Oh, yes, Shinbone Alley. The stories. No idea. He's full of stories.
So that was fun to see him and reconnect, and we had a little bit more time, so he said, let's go exploring. We went and walked through the NYU area.
Washington Square, yep.
That's where you graduated from college.
Yes, graduated from NYU. We took pictures with NYPD officers, one of which was a little disgruntled, but the other one was very friendly. Yeah. Then what did we do?
We found a place called the Arts and Crafts Bar.
Where was it? Oh, yeah. Another cranky bartender.
Right? I had to use the restroom, and I went in and I said, if we get a drink here, can I use the restroom? And Jamie was like, why are you asking him that? Because it was locked. I thought he had to unlock it, but no, somebody
It was urgent. Like, he really had to go, and we had tried another restaurant before that, and we walked in, and he tried to go for the restroom, and the hostess was like, hi, hello, are you here for the event? Do you have a name? Can I check? And he didn't just want to be like, no, I just have to use the bathroom really bad. So he was like, yeah, I'm here for the event. I'm just going to hit the restroom really quick. And she's like, okay, what's the name? I have to cross you off. And I was like, oh my gosh.
So I made up a name or something like that. And she's like, it's not here. And I said,
Roger Watson?
Maybe
it was Roger Watson, wasn't it? Richard. It was Richard. And he goes, no, I don't see him here. No. And I'm just like dying inside. And I'm just like,
Just tell the truth. When you make up stories, you just dig yourself into a hole.
And so she's like, I'll go look around and see. And
she really wanted to help me.
And he's like, yeah, go look around. And then I'm like, now run.
Bolted.
But wait, what happened? You weren't able to go there, and that's why we went to the brewery?
Well, yeah, we found...
I went at Richard Watson's party. This is a lot of information. Anyway, we made it to the other brewery, and he was like, if I buy a beer, can I use the restroom? And I was like, just buy the beer.
Day 3, our final day. We had to we were checking out of our hotel and heading over to Red Hook to try and get the Toucan.
We were so excited. Today was the day.
It was the day. But we started in Central Park. Got to. Anytime you go to New York, you have to walk through Central Park.
There was a lady in a fur coat and a Gucci bag doing an engagement shot.
Oh, yeah.
It was so weird.
It was weird. This couple was like dressed to the nines, and she had,
floor length fur at 10 a.m. and a huge Gucci bag. And I was like, is this a fashion shoot or is this an engagement shoot? It was definitely an engagement shoot, but that was weird. Beautiful day. We got blessed with perfect weather because the storm came in the day we left.
Good morning, everybody. It is another perfect day here in New York City, and we are out for a little morning walk in Central Park. It's just so, so beautiful. Love it.
It was perfect.
I wanted to find the spot in Central Park where in the movie Elf, they have the snowball fight.
Oh, yeah.
And I found it. I couldn't actually go and reproduce the shot because it was fenced off, but I found the actual rock that they hide behind when the snowballs are coming in. So that was fun. Love, anything movie location related. It's great to find that.
And here is the rock where Buddy and Michael take cover, gather up some snowballs, and start bombing the bad guys. I love it. It makes me smile. Smiling's my favorite.
We walked over to Bethesda Square, which is the iconic, you see it in all the movies, the fountain with the angel statue fountain thing. And always filled with tourists, but fun to people watch.
Yeah.
We sat on a bench for a while and just watched people. There was a line for Polaroids. I have to touch on this. This guy, there's all these vendors in Central Park selling art or singing and please leave me tips. This guy had a stand set up where he was charging $10 to take a Polaroid photo of you and hand you the photo. And the line was like down the block. And I was just like, this guy, a Polaroid photo costs like $2. When you buy film, it's like $20 for 10 shots. And he was just raking it in.
Yeah, we couldn't figure it out. What's the appeal? This line was insane. Like, I think people were probably waiting at least half an hour to get a Polaroid. I mean, okay.
I think it's interesting. I think it's maybe just that physical media is such, it's like so rare to find actually printed photos these days. So a Polaroid is like, oh yeah, remember those? I want one of those, I guess.
Yeah.
We headed over to Wollman's skating rink, which is also in lots of films. We love the movie Serendipity, and so we try and go take photos. Like when we were dating, one of our first photos together was in front of that skating rink. So had to stop by there for a photo. And then before we checked out of the hotel and left town, we had to go to Marea.
So we're back at the scene of the wine offense of the century. And you actually want to go in there and order?
It's the octopus fusilli. I gotta get it.
Okay.
Had to get the octopus fusilli. I'm telling you, do not go to New York without stopping. Even if you just sit at the bar, eat the octopus fusilli with bone marrow and the most delicious red wine braised. The bone marrow is braised in red wine. Oh, it's so delicious. It's handmade fusilli. Oh, I dream about it. I got it. It was delicious. Check.
And then it was time to check out. We got our bags, hit the subway.
It was time to get serious.
Headed to Brooklyn in Operation Acquire the Two.
We said enough messing around. It's time to go. It's go time.
We took the train to Brooklyn.
We made it to Brooklyn. We're just arriving, and we're going to see how this goes.
Walked about, I don't know, a mile or so to our hotel, checked into the Red Hook Lodge.
I was filled with anxiety at this point. I was spiraling. And he said, are you going to be okay? You're a liability. You need to get it together.
The sky's on fire. Sun is setting here in beautiful Red Hook, Brooklyn. And ladies and gentlemen, it is just about go time for Operation Acquire the Toucan. Now, I've been really good about not getting my hopes up. I really want to leave with that toucan, but there's several things that could happen. You know, we could walk in there and it could be gone already. We have no idea if it's still even there. We last saw it a year ago. There could be a special event and we just can't even get in the place. The bartender might be just like the worst and completely shut us down immediately. And it's also possible we could be like, hey, could we have that? And they're like, yeah, sure.
And I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna go in. I had to get it together. I was so nervous.
So wait, you're nervous?
Listen, I'm so nervous right now. I'm like shaking.
You?
I'm nervous. I can't possibly do it.
You can't?
Oh my gosh.
You're gonna make me go in there by myself?
No, I'm gonna go. It's just, I don't know why I'm so nervous. We need that toucan. We gotta get it. Let's go.
We've been planning this for a year, and how's it gonna go? I was nervous too.
I said, look, don't get your hopes up. We're not getting it.
So we headed over there. We walked, and as we were getting closer, like the nerves, just the anxiety's building up.
Here he goes. This is a man that's walking with a purpose, a vision. He's on a mission. I'm hanging back here because I'm just so nervous. But he's just gonna walk right in.
You're not gonna be a liability for me.
I'm not a liability, no. Okay. I'm fine. I'm like Lyman Zarga in Ocean's 11. I am Lyman Zarga. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
on our Instagram story are just like, oh, I'm so nervous too. So much fun. So we go, and all the seats at the bar are taken, but there's a little small 2-seater by the window, a table that we slid into. Toucan was still there.
It's here. It's here. It's over there. Right there. The bartender's face. Very nice. Oh, we need a seat at the bar. It's like taken. It's full. Those are taken. What are we gonna do?
We're gonna play it out. We're here for the long play.
I'm like, how are we gonna have the conversation? It's so loud. We'll figure it out.
There was a friendly-ish bartender, and we...
Victor? Was that Victor?
Victor. We said hello, made friends with him, started out with a couple of drinks, and left him a very nice cash tip. I said, this is for you, and he was like, wow, thank you.
And I was like, look, we're gonna be here a while, so we have to like nurse this one beer, because I don't want to like be here all night drinking beer. And
we don't want to get 3 sheets to the wind where we're just like, we ruin our mission.
Hey, we wanted to chew ya. You take it on the wall, Victor.
So we sat at that table for a little bit, and then a couple of people left, and we got these seats at the bar. They weren't like directly next to each other, so this really helped us. It was serendipitous. The entrance to get behind the bar was separate. Well, like the stools were separated by that. So she was on one end and I was on the other, and you had to pass basically.
It was like a little galley.
You had to pass between us to get back behind the bar.
Right.
Which the food runner, the young man, his name was Adrian. He had to basically pass us and go to the window to get food. Was like right where we were sitting, so he had to kind of hang out there. And we sat there for a little while, struck up a conversation with him, got to know him.
We got a seat at the bar.
We're making progress.
Got a seat at the bar. That's Victor, the bartender. He's awesome. And we're hanging out. This place is awesome. Festive. We got stockings, Christmas lights. So much cool stuff around here.
We had been tipping Victor big, like 20s, here and there. Then he's like, all right, guys, I got to close you out. It's time for me to go. And we were like, no. Oh, no. Go. Oh, no. We've been investing in him, and now he's going to go.
Yeah.
So we thought, what are we going to do? So then he struck up the conversation with Adrian.
So I said, how long have you been working here? And he told me, and it was like since when the bar opened. And I was like, wow. So, and he was a young kid. So I was like, basically your whole life then, huh? And he said, yeah, it's my dad's bar. And we went,
Adrian.
Hey, buddy, that makes you our new best friend. That was not scripted.
We totally just thought of that at the same time. Oh, I love it.
So the new bartender came on. His name was Corey. Very, very nice guy. And we were there. We were chatting with Adrian every time he'd come over to get some food, making friends. And finally, we just kind of, I just kind of asked,
yeah,
hey, that Toucan painting on the wall, that's pretty cool. Could we buy that?
He's like, I'll ask my dad, but I don't think so.
So he texts his dad and he says, you know what? A friend of ours painted that and gave it to us when we opened the bar. So
no.
Nah.
Shut down.
But he said, we can see if my friend will make one for you. Here's my dad's number. Text him. And we went,
okay.
Great. So we texted him and we said, hey.
We didn't want a replica. Okay. We didn't know.
We wanted the one from the movie.
Right.
We said, hey, my name is Paul. I just met your son, Adrian. He's very nice. We're here enjoying your bar. Great bar. Thank you so much. Hey, we wanted to buy the Toucan on the wall. Would you take
X amount?
And he responded, hey, Paul, great to meet you. How long are you in town for? I can see if my friend will make you one? And I said, no, we're leaving tomorrow morning.
See, we need the Toucan.
Will you please consider selling it? And he said, hang on, let me see if he'll make me a duplicate then before we consider that.
And there was like a long time in between these texts. This wasn't like a rapid fire. And, you know, it's getting to be a little later. It's like 8:30, almost time for bed.
Strategically, too, we were like ordering the lowest alcohol drinks we could, drinking as much water as we could, just making friends. So I sent him a second offer, and there's no response. And we sent the owner a picture of us and enjoying the bar, and he's like, "Oh, you guys are cute," and we're trying to like become friends with the owner, basically.
But we still hadn't heard an answer, and it was like time to go. We're sweating at this point. Sweating.
I was like, we can't have come this far after this long of a journey just to hear a no. But we hadn't heard like a absolutely not, it's not for sale. So we thought we'd keep pushing.
I mean, we kind of did. But then we were like, okay, but really, is it really a no?
Yeah. I mean, we persevered.
Yeah.
So finally it came time. We hadn't heard from him in like an hour and a half.
Yeah, it was time to go.
It was like 10 o'clock and we were like...
We were flying out in the morning. We had to leave.
So we said, hey, we're closing out.
Final offer.
Would you take this much? Final offer.
Don't make me laugh.
I looked over and Jamie is looking at my phone with like a half-shocked look on her face. And she said, what?
I said, we got it.
And I said, what?
We got it. He said, okay, if it means that much to you. Are you ready? Are you ready? Bring it over.
We got it.
We got it.
We got it.
And like basically immediately Adrian came over and said, wow.
Whoa.
So you got it. And we said, yeah.
We could not believe it. And he goes out and he takes the Toucan off the wall. And Corey's like, what's happening? I put the Toucan in my purse. We got it.
We closed out and we left, guys. We got it.
We got the Toques.
Got the Toucan.
It's on our wall.
Brought it home, hung it up. It's right next to the Titanic wheel on our wall.
I can't.
And the piece of history, cinema history from one of our favorite movies is ours now. So crazy. And you know, it just goes to show in life, if there's something you want, ask. The worst that can happen is somebody says no.
It might be a no, but you'll have fun anyway. And what if it's yes?
The Toucan is home now in our home,
Yep.
on the wall. We say hello to it every day.
Yeah, it's the best.
Just a memory of not only our favorite movie, but just a great experience, a great adventure, a great trip to New York and Brooklyn. And
we are getting on the subway to the AirTrain to head home.
We're gonna see our babies.
Can't wait to see our babies. We miss our babies like crazy.
Yeah.
What a trip, man. We had a great trip. And it has been acquired. I still can't believe it. We're like talking about it. We're like, I still can't believe it actually happened. Oh man, thanks for coming with us on this journey.
can't wait for the next trip to New York.
Yeah, November 2024. Here we come.
Thanks for taking this journey with us, everybody. And till the next episode of Cove.
Bye.
Make each day count. If you enjoyed this episode of Cove, please leave us some positive feedback. A comment on YouTube if you're watching the video, or a review on the podcast platform if you're listening. And of course, be sure to subscribe or follow on YouTube or wherever you're listening to us, whatever podcast platform. Every like, comment, and review helps us with the algorithm to reach new audiences. As a small independent podcast, this is very important to help our show grow. So thank you in advance. I appreciate your time always. I hope you'll tune in to the next one. Until then, make each day count.
I put the coat on her!